Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void, and for your Sunday, a Sunday series between Classic and HeRoMaRinE from BlizzCon 2019. Bottom right-hand corner, it is the German Terran player. He is blue today. It is HeRoMaRinE. And in the top left, his enemy, it is the red Protoss player from Korea, Classic. Now, Classic won all of our hearts by that Dark Templar Shadow Stride build against Dark. Well, maybe it was Dark or Rogue. I get these two players mixed up a lot. Let's see. Classic versus, I want to say Dark. Yeah. But let's see how good he is at PvT. HeRoMaRinE is among the best foreigner Terran players. Maybe the best foreigner Terran player alive today. Man, let me know in the comments if you agree with that assessment. And hit that like button if you're excited for this series. Another PvT. PvT fans are very, very happy these days, because last week I did Tasia versus Mana from Home Story Cup. That was a pretty darn interesting series there. Tasia, back competing in StarCraft 2 professionally. And Mana never left, man. He was competing in Brood War back in the year, I want to say 2003, maybe 2002. He's been around for a long time and still kicking it. Love this dude. 1 gate expand. What looks like a 1 Rex expand. This Reaper's name simply is Jeff. My name is Jeff. And yes, I am aware that's a meme. It's a fine meme, I suppose. Not one of my favorites, but it's here anyway. 2 SCVs down here to make sure we get enough room to throw down the command center. And there it goes. Blocking off Reaper hop-up spots here with the Cybernetics core. And so far, so good. Both players have done some worker scouting. Well, I mean, HeRoMaRinE is getting some started here, but Classic's not going for the cannon rush. Classic's not going for anything too insane. Just generally, we'll see what happens after the Cyber Core finishes, and that is when we will be interested in what is happening here. But yeah, man, this is as standard as standard gets. Your second gas, Cyber Core. Now, this is where it gets interesting. What's your tech gonna be? Cyber Core done. Classic says the timing is working out perfectly for a Stargate, so we might see an Oracle here. Got our Reaper cruising up, but there's going to be an Adept out to defend against this, which is usually how this works at the higher levels. Reaper's good in the lower levels just because if they show up, it is harder to deal with them for like a Platinum player than it is for a Pro, and this timing is just impeccable, right? The Reaper's going to take 2 shots to its face. It's not going to die, but it's going to be shoved away, bam, and then the Adept's going to keep pushing out and try to see what she can see on the other side of the map, where there's 1 Marine defending, but we'll get a bunker up. We'll be able to defend here with that bunker. We'll be able to defend with maybe a Cyclone would be interesting here, or a quick tank could be pretty good too. Ooh, a Widow Mine. I didn't really think about Widow Mine. Jeff is trying to hop up rather for a scout, but can't because that's blocked off. So he hops up here, takes 2 shots. He's going to die. I don't think there's any escape for Jeff, but he needed to get the scout off, and there it is. So he does scout the Stargate. He recognizes an Oracle's on the way. The Oracle's name is Magnetar. A poor neutron star got enough of being sidelined by its more famous sister, the Pulsar. Pulsar beam, wink wink, and decided to give a try to this whole Oracle stuff. Instead of a Pulsar beam, now the Oracle shoots a Magnetar beam. Alright, Magnetar beam, what do you have for us today? You gonna cruise across and try to murder some stuff? Well, there's gonna be Widow Mines you have to dodge, so be very careful with that, please. Be extremely careful with the dodging the Widow Mines. Look at him hiding here behind the refinery. Kind of harder to see here if you're looking for those shadows, which you can see shadows of burrowed units in StarCraft if you look very closely. And if you play on the lower levels of graphic settings, they're actually easier to see, which is why a lot of players will do that. So here we go. Oracle doesn't want to go in there. Really, really worried about a Widow Mine. Ooh, got a Revelation, but doesn't catch the Widow Mine. So the Oracle just goes for the Revelation, tries to see what's going on here as far as production is concerned. Did see a Viking come out. Viking's going to chase Magnetar away. No beams yet from Magnetar. Third base up on Thunderbird, as you're going to do traditionally. I mean, a third base, HeRoMaRinE's making one too. On this map, it just makes a ton of sense to go for the macro style. It's easy to defend. You don't have to worry about attacks coming into your wide open third base because it's not wide open. It is really walled off effectively well. We have seen some builds that rely on workers showing up early to mine through these minerals and give you an attack path for lings usually. But as there is no Zerg on the map right now, you don't have to worry about that in the teeniest or tiniest of bits. Marines in the natural mineral line to defend. Widow Mine in the main mineral line to defend. A Viking up here too. So far so good. Double Oracle not really going to accomplish much. I don't feel like in this game. Classic tried to get some damage in early, kind of whiffed on it, but the Oracle's going to be useful throughout the rest of the game by tossing down Revelation on the army as HeRoMaRinE decides to move out. Now, can he actually maybe pick off the SCV building? He can. So he can pick off the SCV building that command center, delaying the third a little bit, which is really bad for HeRoMaRinE because Classic's third has been done for some time now, and the worker count is 52 to 43 because Chrono Boost is incredible. Mules are really good too for total income, but as far as creating workers more quickly is concerned, it's going to be a Protoss that's going to win that race, or Zerg. Terran, not so much. Again, which is why it's really important to keep up on consistently producing SCVs throughout the entire game, at least to a certain point, which actually, there we go. For a second there, he wasn't. HeRoMaRinE, I was trying to make my point there, and he wasn't helping me out. So we're going to upgrade to an orbital command before he lifts and lands it on the third base. I just feel like he's behind here. Army supply about the same, but Classic has a bigger economy, obviously, because he's on 3 bases. He's on more workers. Some of the gateways getting tossed down here. Lots of gateways, but what's your splash damage going to be? Are you honestly coming into this with just Immortals and Oracles? So there's going to be gateway units and then Immortals and Oracles for your tier 3-ish stuff. I don't know that I agree with this, to be honest with you. So third base landing. Again, it's late, which is a problem. I like the Raven for detection of observers and whatnot. I like the Widow Mines on these ramps so that early attacks will take a big faceful of splash damage before all is said and done. Oh, Widow Mine gets picked off there, but actually kill one. Got one. Nice. So Widow Mine did take out one of the Oracles here. And we got a double drop moving on out. We got a couple Marauders in there, mostly Marines. Going to try to drop in the natural base. The scan is a bit of an indication that something is coming. So that's what the cannon is for, and that's why these Stalkers are moving over to intercept. Is they saw the scan and they said, that's what I thought. Boost was saved for just such an occasion, though. And HeRoMaRinE is forced away from that location. Blink coming in. Storm on the way here, too. Widow Mine getting some shots off on our Oracle. Does have 3 total kills, but nothing too crazy. Really nothing crazy at all here. So we'll see if HeRoMaRinE goes for the whole, pull a bunch of the SCVs build that we saw Tasia go for against Mana in the previous series. Basically, around this point in time, beautiful stasis. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful stasis. That caught the entirety of the ground army. Widow Mine and the rest of the army come and try to cover these guys so they don't die instantly if an army shows up and tries to catch them as they come out of that stasis. But yeah, there is a build that we've seen quite a bit of here in TVP where they're just like, we can afford to lose some SCVs here. We have mules, we're on 3 bases or 4. Let's go. We'll pull some SCVs for just meat shielding. And it'll be a lot, much harder for the Protoss to handle it. So I don't think we're seeing that here. I'm trying to watch back and see if any SCVs are on their way, but Ghost Academy done. Which means we have some Ghosts in production. EMP is going to be really good here. War Prism with Zealots, just trying to find a way down into this third base that doesn't involve getting shot out of the sky by those Marines. Robotics Bay in production too. And yeah, there we go. I like the missile turret placement here. Maybe another one here would be nice. Yeah, warp prisms are extremely good just because they can warp in units, but as a result, they're pretty skinny. 180 HP is not very much for a warp prism, and they're not very fast either. So you got to be careful with them. They're extremely strong, but you got to be careful with them. Nice force fields, keeping the Terran army away for the time being. Missile turret. Missile turret. Oh, warp prism dies. 2 Zealots in the main and 2 Zealots. Oh, never mind. No 2 Zealots in the third base. They got Widow Mine to death. 2 Zealots in the main is much easier to handle compared to a billion Zealots in your main. I can tell you that much. Good EMPs and an anti-armor missile going down on Classic's army here. I like the position. Storm getting some damage done as well. But HeRoMaRinE pushing in beautiful force fields. Those Marauders outside the wall. He's alive somehow. How are you alive? You should not be alive. Okay, he's dead now. The order has been restored into the universe. 4th base landing for HeRoMaRinE. 4th base being defended ardently by Classic right now. Zealots getting on top of this army. Good number of Zealots here. That is generally how battles will go in PvT. How many Zealots do you have? Oh, great Storm. I like that he's keeping... Ooh, the High Templar Interference Matrix on that Warp Prism. High Templar got EMP'd too, I think, there. Just not enough army for HeRoMaRinE at this stage of the game. He's trying to hold on. trying to wipe out the Zealots, and then the rest of the army is not as scary. A bit of a turnabout here. Are there enough Marines to handle this? I don't know. His ghosts keep dying. Can hear those death sounds. And HeRoMaRinE is forced back. Unfortunately, the good news for him is he got a 4th base up in the meantime. The good news is his upgrades are killing it. We are going to see Colossus here with extended thermal lance, though, and that is a bit of a problem for Terran. Is the Colossus with extended thermal lance are really good against this bio-heavy play, which is generally how we see Terran played against Protoss in the current meta anyway. There was a bit of a move for Mech for Morrow earlier in 2019, but nope, that did not end up happening. So 2 more Colossus in production. This is going to be a lot of Colossus. It's going to be a lot of Colossus here. HeRoMaRinE does not like what he sees. Vikings are going to be needed. Marauders are going to be needed. EMPs are going to be incredibly important here versus these Colossus. Classic hasn't even really tried to harass. I mean, HeRoMaRinE shut that down, and I felt like he was in a really good position, and he probably is. I mean, army supply about the same, worker supply even. So at this stage of the game, if the Viking count is high enough, they can kind of 1 or 2 volley down these Colossus. I like the odds here. The storm dodging is going to have to be really good, though. My gosh, the storms are everywhere right now. Trying to get EMPs on this army. The Colossus are refusing to die. Where are the Vikings? There's one on the top side. It gets picked out of the sky here, just blanketing the ground with psionic storms here is Classic. Oh, I think that might be it. That engagement was absolutely brutal for HeRoMaRinE. Blinking on in. The Vikings are a little bit late here, and that's your good game. Classic takes game number 1 in 11.5 total minutes. So that is game 1 of our best of 5. Whew, that was brutal is what it was. 12,000 resources lost for HeRoMaRinE, 7,000 for Classic. That last attack was just massive. The Colossus never died. None of them went down at all, period. Let's see exactly how many kills they have when all is said and done here. I mean, not that many, to be honest. 6, 4, 2, 3. But it's really, right, it's really, as they disappear from the game because the game's over, it's really just about the damage that they do. Maybe they don't get credit for a kill, but they're sucking tons of HP off of those Marines, off those Marauders, off those Ghosts, and the other units get tasked with actually taking them out. So just beautifully well played there by Classic. It's a really, at the risk of being redundant here, a Classic PvT timing push off 4 bases with Colossus, with a ton of Storm, Immortals, Revelation getting tossed down, some good force fields off of the sentries that existed too. And that's it for game 1. Let's check out game number 2, see if HeRoMaRinE has a response here, but we'll be right back. Winter's Gate for game number 2. Bottom right, it is HeRoMaRinE. Top left, it is Classic. That game 1 looked pretty overpowering for Classic, but I believe in HeRoMaRinE here. I kind of feel like he can win this game, but we'll have to see if he can do it. Have you ever heard of the Falcon Paladin Hour? It is a weekly podcast with myself and Samacron and Ozzy as we talk about all things nerdy or geeky or whatever it is these days. Talking about The Expanse, talking about Watchmen, talking about StarCraft 2 professional tournaments, betting on it sometimes, and boy, you do not want to lose a StarCraft 2 bet with either myself or Samacron because, blech. The reward for doing so is that you get to pick what the other person has to do because they lost. Let's just leave it at that. No cannon rush here from Classic. No proxies here from HeRoMaRinE. Just a straight-up macro game here on Winter's Gate. I like Winter's Gate. I wish more games are on this map. It doesn't seem to be vetoed a lot. I mean, people don't like the slow zones. They really hate the slow zones. But I mean, otherwise, it's pretty. Your natural is fairly easy to handle. Your third base is really nice and home, too. You don't kind of have to worry about 2 ramps, 2 attack paths there, but I don't know. Otherwise, a lot of good places to expand here. There are slow zones all the way up, right across the map here. It's not that far of a rush distance, but the slow zones are a problem. Reaper's name is Jacob Marley. Years ago, Jacob Marley was Emperor Menk's business partner who accidentally died after falling on 6 bullets. This year, Emperor Mensk banned Christmas because gift giving was interfering with wartime production. The ghost of Jacob Marley came to the Emperor Menk's home, warning that if Emperor Mensk did not change his ways, he would spend eternity wrapped in chains. Just as Marley started to explain the visitations by the 3 ghosts, Emperor Mensk activated a Protoss soul-capturing crystal and captured Marley, and then sent him to the Reaper program. You can't redeem Mensk, man. That guy. That guy is the worst. Is he even bothering to micro outside of these slow zones? Not really. That's interesting. I figured at this level he'd had enough APM available. Can you squeeze through there? Maybe you can't. Maybe it doesn't really matter. So SCV Scouts sees what's going on, recognizes, okay, there's going to be an Adept popping out soon. Do we want to go in there is the question. Can we stay alive, or is it going to be a suicide run? And the answer is, let's pop in and see what we're dealing with. At the very least, going to force those probes back home to some extent, but Adepts are problematic. He manages not to take a shot at the face at all there. And so far, nothing to worry about from Classic. This Scout is right on time. And back home, he's just making a factory, doing what he does generally. His expansion is just about done. Factory coming up. We got another barracks on the way here too. He's sitting at 14 workers, double saturated at 3 minutes with 24 workers and calling down them mules. So again, not much crazy here. Oh, I guess I didn't mention, you find the Falcon Paladin hour just by going to your podcast app on your phone and searching Falcon Paladin. We'll come up. We will come up. If you don't have a podcast app, first of all, you should probably have one. They're really handy. They're free. But you can go to the internet as well and search Falcon Paladin Hour. It'll take you to any number of sites where you can listen to it absolutely free as well. So check it out. If you want more Falcon Paladin in your life in a weekly podcast, maybe listening to it on your way to work every day or on the way home. That's what I like to do. That's my podcast time. It's commute time. Listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm commuting or when I'm doing the dishes or, you know, shoveling snow. That's kind of when I'm doing a mindless task. That is when I can podcast. That'll keep my attention enough and distract me from the terrible thing that I'm actually doing, which, you know, driving 25 minutes to work every day. Not the worst thing in the world, but also not super ideal either. Anyway, what are we doing for tech, guys? Is that a robotics facility right in the wall? It is. And Blink opening from Classic. We do like a good Blink opening here. Blink can be really strong against Terran. A player with exceptional Blink micro can be really good at their jobs. I think that Widowmine fired on a Phoenix. Well, a hallucinated Phoenix, because we don't have a Stargate, obviously. Classic really playing greedy today. That is a quick third base at 4 minutes. That's like a Zerg timing on a fourth base, which, what does that say about Zerg timings if they are greedy? Again, Protoss players learn how to recognize places to wall off pop-up spots for Reapers. It makes them a little bit vulnerable to things like Bio getting down here and wrecking your cybernetics core, but HeRoMaRinE doesn't seem to have much interest in doing that. It would require about a one-base attack to get up here in time to wipe that out. And anyway, Widowmines, you get chased away. I think the Widowmines got chased away there by these Stalkers. Thought about dropping into the natural base. Stalkers gave them something else to think about there. But at the least, where did you go? Wow. It is really hard to see on the mini-map, I've decided. The problem with drops, yo. Did Reaper die? He did. Jacob Marley is dead. Rest in peace. Again, Jacob Marley. Observer comes in to see what's what. It's going to be a Marine tank style play with a couple Marauders. Got some stim in here as well. But I like the tank play. Tanks are the answer versus Blink Stalkers for sure. Stalkers that wander into the range of a tank, even if they have Blink, they're going to take an instant shot anyway. Hard to blink away from it. Impossible, actually, to blink away from it. You can get out of there, but once that shot is fired, it's going to hit you. It is not like Roach attacks, where you can actually dodge those. Or Marauder attacks. You can dodge Marauder attacks. Or Widowmine attacks. You can dodge those too. It's not easy, but it's very possible. A ton of gateways coming up here again. 1-1 on the way. Immortals in production. Are we going to get a Robotics Bay? Or are we just seeing a remake of Game 1 here from Classic? He just kind of skipped the Oracles this time around and says, who needs a Stargate? Who needs a Stargate to win this game? Let's go ahead and gateway up like crazy here, making pylons so he doesn't get supply blocked at all. Widowmine catches a Stalker, and no, another Widowmine almost catches a Stalker there too. Kept the medevac alive there. Blink! There's your blink trick. Well played, Classic. Yeah, if there's anybody who can do that, Classic is going to be your guy. I like this skin for the Immortal. It's pretty fancy. Just good color scheme, man. Great design, whoever came up with that one. Kudos. I hope you got a Christmas bonus for it. Boop. Fourth base on the way from HeRoMaRinE. Oh, third base, rather, on the way from HeRoMaRinE. He's just so behind. He's just always behind in base count here. It's not ideal at all. Coming down this ramp for a bit of a surprise flank attack, but HeRoMaRinE sees it instantly. Sieges his tanks. Gets shot off on some of those Zealots, softening them up for future attacks. And Yeah, I mean, Classic seeing this before it sets up right here is really important for him. He doesn't want to lose the gateway or the warp gate or the cybernetic score. Well, your tanks are done. Problematic. Widowmine's firing on in. Widowmine getting another shot on some Zealots. But more Zealots are joining the party here. Both players are microing to within an inch of their lives. Can they? Widowmine's just taking shots where they can get them. They're dying, obviously, because they don't have drilling claws. Oh, medevac picked out of the sky. Nice forward blink there from Classic. Army supply 47 to 44. So that was a loss for HeRoMaRinE, but not nearly as catastrophic as the loss he suffered in game number 1, partially because he was on the offensive instead of the defensive. They're losing a battle on the defensive when you're right up close to your own bases that's GG. But losing an attack that you are the aggressor. Now you can recover from that a little bit. You probably expanded while you were attacking. Probably have the ability to make even more units this time around and can really go well for you. Classic, however, is up in all metrics that matter at this stage. HeRoMaRinE is calling down mules at his new third base. We got a Warp Prism trying to do stuff in the main. And again, but this time there aren't missile turrets. This time there are no missile turrets, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, dropping in the Zealots. Warping in a ton more because these first 4 had such success. Zealot coming into the natural base too. Oh, this is so annoying to deal with. So the Widowmine friendly fire shots on these SCVs could be brutal, though. Nice control. Nice control getting out of there, but so many SCVs are dying. This one in the natural is being left entirely alone. What a genius play from Classic, getting one Zealot into the natural to get 6 kills all by his lonesome. Zealot's warping into the main, taking down Tech Labs. Bit of a choke point there, not ideal, but 24 SCVs have been killed. It's 66 to 39 workers. The Warp Prism is alive. I mean, that is the problem with not having a Stargate opening, is you're not going to make missile turrets, but then Warp Prisms show up. So HeRoMaRinE probably recognizing, okay, I don't have to worry about Oracles, I don't have to worry about Phoenix, great. I'll skip the missile turrets, but then a Warp Prism shows up and just about ruins his entire day. Army supply, 79 to 59 in favor of Classic right now. He is, in fact, going to go for that extended thermal lance and these Colossus again for attack number 2. Zealots trying to do some more stuff inside the main, and you know what? They're going to accomplish it as well because there are, again, no turrets in here. There is Army this time. Warp Prism, never mind, decided not to go in there after all. Stalkers blinking away, kind of regrouping with their army here. Their Colossus are going to pop out of the robotics facility any second now. 4th base warping in from Classic down along the left side. Did he do it? Oh, he went in. All right. There's a Viking this time, though. See how fast Warp Prisms die? They die really fast. And there's enough army to defend it this time. So HeRoMaRinE shuts it down. But, I mean, shutting it down 1 out of 2 times is not necessarily enough, as we have seen. If HeRoMaRinE can get in here and take down this 4th base, that'd be a massive victory for him and a way for him to get back in this. That probe scouts, however, the attack coming in. I'm not even sure where that probe was going. But here are your Colossus with that extended thermal lance. Viking production has begun a little bit earlier this time for HeRoMaRinE. Widowmine's getting a couple shots off and then getting blown out of the ground there too by the combined might of everything that Classic has and his entire army. Enhanced Shockwave coming in from HeRoMaRinE. He does like his ghosts, and I feel like ghosts are incredibly important here against Protoss. Knocking that 100 shield off is incredibly good versus everything that Protoss has. There's really not a unit where it's not worth it to EMP it. Classic sharking around a bit here. Gonna knock down these rocks, allow for an additional, more open attack path right down the center of this, well, this alley. Pulling the boys in defense mode, though. Oh, boy. I don't know about this, man. Standing in and fighting as best he can. 18 more SCVs go down, and that's your good game. Classic pretty much did what he did in game number 1, except this time he had a successful Zealot warping attack into the main, which really made the follow-up Colossus play that much more effective. HeRoMaRinE tapped out. And that is a 2-0 lead here for Classic today against HeRoMaRinE. He's in a horrible position. Just terrible. I would not wish this on my worst enemy. So we'll see what he has in him here. Can he pull back? Can he win 3 games in a row versus Classic? That's amazing. That's incredible stuff. Can he do it? I don't know. Classic playing so well right now. We'll be right back. It's a disco bloodbath. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? I feel like it does. All right, so again, HeRoMaRinE versus Classic. Left side HeRoMaRinE, right side Classic here on Disco Bloodbath with the giant disco floor in the middle. Supernova. Is this Ewok's name, Supernova? Yub yub, he says. I don't speak Ewok, but maybe you do. Let's see, when is this going to post? Oh, this is after Star Wars. Yeah? It is. Okay. So this is post Star Wars Episode 8. No, Episode 9. Yeah, 7, 8, 9. Right. Okay. Man, so that means, I am speaking to people in the future here. Did you enjoy the episode? Did you enjoy the movie? I gotta say, my expectations are low at this point going into it. So hopefully my expectations are exceeded. It should not be hard to do, but number one, I didn't really like The Last Jedi all that much. I'm not alone in that opinion. There's a lot of things about it. We go into it on the podcast quite a bit when it came out, and I think we spent a whole episode on it, to be honest. Yeah, I can't think about it too much. I'll get discouraged. So that's a problem. Number two, J.J. Abrams is in charge of it, and Abrams is a beautifully brilliant guy at starting things. He has good ideas. He can set things up. When it comes to conclusions, he's really bad at it. Endings are hard. It's hard for a lot of people, but it's especially hard for J.J. Abrams. So considering he is expected to conclude a story he wasn't supposed to conclude, they brought him back for this. I don't think he was planning on it in the first place. It hurts, man. Alright, so Reaper here, Billy. His backstory can be a video game streamer who bullied too many kids online and had to be sent to a re-education camp. Wow. This is suspiciously specific. Whoever came up with this, did you know a Billy? Is that what we're talking about here? So Billy's going to come and try to do some things, but that is a blocked hop-up, I think. Is it not a blocked hop-up? Maybe too many places to hop up. No, hang on. I don't know about the blocking hop-ups, because again, I am Zerg, so it doesn't matter to me. It up comes out at the traditional time. Reaper gets out of there. Billy does not like what he sees at all. It is going to be a Stargate opening here from Classic, right over there. And therefore, we might have use for an Oracle name as well. If you'd like to have your names read off in one of the Falcon Paladin casts, go ahead, put it in the comments, put Oracle name, put a Reaper name, and then give me a name. You can do a backstory if you want. You cannot do a backstory if you want. But you can get a tiny bit of internet fame that way. Another Wood of Mine drop opening here from HeRoMaRinE. The first one did not accomplish much of anything at all. And then the corresponding or subsequent Zealot warp it into his main base was just devastating. So HeRoMaRinE trying to avoid that, trying to avoid getting 3-0'd here by Classic today, and I felt good about Game 2. I did. I felt good about Game 2. But maybe he needs to do that build where... Oh, goodbye, Billy. Goodbye. Oh, Billy lives. Billy lives with 4 HP. Never mind, he dead. Too many adepts, man. Way too many. 3 of them here. That's a good number of adepts. Does this feel to you like some kind of an adept all-in play? 3 adepts is a lot. But I don't see a Twilight Council or anything. So, Robotics Facility on the way. Masked Phoenix here from Classic, which can be exceptionally good, both against Zerg and Terran. I do enjoy a good Masked Phoenix play in the hands of a skilled player. It's hard to deal with. Unless you have turrets, unless you got bunkers set up, which HeRoMaRinE does have a bunker here, it can be really hard to stop. A ton of Marines can handle it, but if you have not enough of a ton of Marines, the Phoenix will pick them up and kill them one by one. It's like Hydralisks. There's a critical number of Marines and Hydras that need to exist before they can take down a certain number of Phoenix. It's not math necessarily. It probably is math on some level. What am I talking about? Anyway, there's your 4.5-minute third base, man. Classic is feeling confident. He's feeling so darn confident here today. Are players allowed to rewind their own replays in the middle of a tournament and see what happened in the last one? You think so? I think is HeRoMaRinE, does he know how early these third bases are coming up? I just don't know that he does. That is a really fast robotics bay. like a really fast robotics bay. You're going to see Colossus again, maybe. Viking out, Stim coming in, Combat Shield on the way, +1 attack from HeRoMaRinE. Phoenix, Flock, trying to get over here. Did they take a Widowmine shot? I think they might have taken a Widowmine shot. And yeah, even your Viking doesn't help you all that much, guys. Marine's fighting pretty well here. Did that Widowmine actually fire and catch a bunch of SCVs with friendly fire there too? That hurts. That really hurts. That said, the Phoenix Ball is down to 3, which is not where you want it to be. You want it closer to 4 or 5 if you can pull it off. But everything's okay. HeRoMaRinE staying alive. It is, man. It is going to be Colossus again. Extended Thermal Lance. Boy, I haven't seen this much Colossus, I feel like, since Heart of the Swarm. They did a bit of a nerf on it for Legacy of the Void, and it wasn't good for a while, we'll just say that. But at the same time, here it is, doing really well today here against HeRoMaRinE. And this is a matchup that Terran feel pretty bad about generally. So if you're watching this today as a Terran player, you're feeling bad about it. Feeling discouraged about it. But let's see how HeRoMaRinE does in this match. Got the Colossus out. The Colossus are here. Extended Thermal Lance is on the way. It's not being Chrono Boost, and it is a long upgrade. So maybe if HeRoMaRinE hits, he doesn't have to worry about Colossus all that much, especially if he can Interference Matrix it with his Raven. Army Supply 58 to 43. Is this a 2-base attack? I'm realizing there's not a third command center. HeRoMaRinE says, enough of this letting you get 4 bases thing. It is too hard to deal with. 4 Colossus is impossible to deal with. Let's go now. Oh, that probe again. Scouts the attack coming in. A lot was invested into these Phoenix, though, and against this huge Marine Ball, I don't know about it. Another Colossus comes out. Extended Thermal Lance is seconds away from completing. Concussive Shells is almost done here, too. I think HeRoMaRinE might be waiting for that upgrade. There it is. Upgrade done. Concussive Shell. Trying to burn these Phoenix out of the sky. The longer this goes for HeRoMaRinE, the worse it is for him, though. Classic's army is catching up bit by bit by bit here. The force fields are amazing. Interference Matrix on both of those Colossus, though. And without the Colossus, this is a nice push out of HeRoMaRinE. Nah, these guys are trapped. Pathing is bad. Okay, Colossus are back. And they have Extended Thermal Lance. Another Interference Matrix on one of the Colossus, but HeRoMaRinE does not like what he sees. He's trying to bait people into these Widow Mines. Oh, Phoenix, Widow Mine. Nice. Really nicely done there. Dude, you can't go home. You don't have a third base. HeRoMaRinE, my guy. Okay, he's making a third base now. Oh, I don't know. I feel like your window is closing, dude. I feel like you had a window there. Fairly overstimmed, though. He does need some time to heal up. Didn't really have time to sit there and heal up here and then come back again. But, oh, Classic's got his third base up for so long. HeRoMaRinE's third base is now landing at 8 minutes. But that's 4 minutes later than Classic got his down. And what's weird to me here is it's not even like Classic is really messing with third base timings for HeRoMaRinE. He's not being super aggressive. I kind of feel like HeRoMaRinE could do the third base timing the same way that Classic is, but he's not. He's playing it safe, working on +2 attack for his bio. I like these pylons at every one of these right side bases. Trying to make sure if HeRoMaRinE expands up that way, Classic knows about it. Putting pylons down the southern way, too. I mean, this is just early warning systems. It's pretty smart. I like it a lot. For some reason, I have the old Nickelodeon song in my head. I wasn't a Nickelodeon kid because we didn't have cable growing up because my parents did not believe in cable. But, yeah, going over to cousins' homes or my grandma and grandpa's, they had it. Friends' houses sometimes had it. It's just a Nickelodeon. Like, that's been in my head for the last 10 minutes. I don't know why. Brains are strange, dude. I haven't watched Nickelodeon in years either. So, pylon down, but again, early warning system activated. The army knows to get over here and shut this down. It's so good. Widowmine gets a shot off, kills a thing. I think maybe a probe. This Marine is going to die. Classic pushing out with his Colossus. He's got Archons this time, so that's new. Oh my gosh, HeRoMaRinE. This is Vikings. He's trying to set up his whole army in a position where he can defend against this whole army. Dodging back, dancing back. Classic going for it. And HeRoMaRinE as he's sacking his base. You can't sack your base. Nice anti-armor missile on the units. Not that the Archons care, but everybody else does. HeRoMaRinE lifting, fleeing, lifting, fleeing. Only loses SCVs here, 8 of them. And his third command center, third orbital, does come out without dying. Viking group kind of huge all of a sudden. Hey, here we go. Colossus down. Immortals getting murdered here. Ghosts in the mix. You can hear them dying as well. 25 SCVs killed. But it is 70-17 army right now for Classic. He just warped in a ton of Zealots, but he doesn't have much else right now. This Zealot hiding up in this direction is distracting a bit. HeRoMaRinE needs to go. He has a decisive army advantage right now. It is only going to get closer as Classic is able to warp in more units and produce more things off of his robotics facilities. You can see the blue streaming across the map here up the top side, trying to see what they can accomplish. After winning that last battle so decisively, I'm kind of shocked Classic didn't pull back. You can't really run with those Colossus. They're not very fast. Vikings can chase them down. And here we go, landing his Vikings to do bonus damage versus the mechanical stalkers here, and providing bonus damage just period against everything else. Look at this counterattack out of HeRoMaRinE. Does he do it, ladies and gents? He does manage to get in here and wipe out the army. Shield batteries are out of energy or also dead. Classic gonna lose his third. Probes getting massacred as they retreat from the position. This Zealot, is that another Zealot that warped in over there? Maybe so. Nexus down. 75-21 army supply in favor of HeRoMaRinE right now. He is going for the kill, and all Classic is really able to do here is warp in Zealots, sacrifice some probes, and try to see if this Immortal can kill everything by his lonesome, but nope. He got slowed and killed by Concussive Shell. Army supply 15 for Classic right now. Another Immortal at the top of the ramp here. Some Zealots need handling, and HeRoMaRinE's like, how do you not have... How do you not have very much right now, my guy? And the answer is, you've been killing it. You've been destroying all of it here. These poor Vikings, not so good against this particular composition of Zealots. Good against Immortals. Classic holding on, and there's your good game. HeRoMaRinE does take a 1-2 series setup here. He's still down 2-1, but he did not go down 3-0, and that is a huge deal for him. Fantastic, fantastic play. Again, it came down to that one battle where the Vikings got around that flank. The Viking count was high enough versus the Colossus this time. And once the Colossus were gone, the ground army could handle pretty much everything else. There really wasn't much Storm. It was Archons in the mix for Classic this time around. And I'm really wondering why he mixed it up so much. Right, the Storm, Archon, Sentry, Immortal, Stalker, Zealot thing was really good in Game 1 and really good in Game 2. But he went away from it here in Game number 3. No Storms at all. Archon's pretty good. But if there are ghosts out, the EMPs hurt them most of all. We saw the Interference Matrix being used on the Colossus during earlier attacks, which is just such a brilliant, brilliant spell. I'm glad to see HeRoMaRinE use that. So here we go to Game 4. Stick with it. We'll see if HeRoMaRinE can force a Game 5 or if he just, had a bit of a fluky win against Classic today. We'll find out in the next match. Acropolis, the latter edition, site of many a long macro game. At least according to the games that I have cast over the last 6 months. Bottom right hand corner, here is HeRoMaRinE. He is down 2-1. And in the top left, it is Classic. He's in a comfortable position, up 2-1 in a best of 5. Come on, HeRoMaRinE, proxy him. Proxy Classic. It's too late for that. It is too late for that. Cannon rush? Oh my gosh, a cannon rush on the low ground here would be so cool. Come on, Classic. Ugh, safe gateways. You guys are killing me. I gotta say, PvT is not my favorite matchup in StarCraft. The reasons are, it is so safe. It is so darn safe. I see the fewest number of proxies and like cannon rushes and all sorts of crazy shenanigans here compared to PvZ, compared to TvZ. Just everybody builds their command centers safe at home. Everyone builds their barracks safe at home. Nobody goes for a planetary fortress rush of any kind. Can't believe this, wow, he's still alive. Nice jukes, by the way. Really nice jukes. He wants to kill that SCV, but the protection by HeRoMaRiNE is fantastic too. So the probe lives. Probe's shields come back up, and probe is now going to block the expansion. Just kidding. He decided that's for suckers. Command center, come up whenever you want, my guy. Oh, he juked back in. Oh, this probe got a lot of HP on him. But SCVs are better fighters because they can't heal themselves like drones and probes can. Anyway, let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Cybernetics core, second pylon, second gas. Someone needs to mix up the meta here. Somebody needs to do it. Reaper's name is Eddie Kuchi Kacha Kama Tosa Nirda Tosa Noka Sama Kama Waki Brown. One day he fell into the well, fell into the deep dark well. But this is not that day. Today he is a Reaper for the crime of having such a long name. You're not kidding. I'm going to do that again, actually. Let's see. Follow Eddie Kuchi Kacha Kama Tosa Nirda Tosa Noka Sama Kama Waki Brown. I feel like that's some kind of a camp song, right? When you're a kid, you go to camp, you learn all these wacky songs because you don't have TV and the people in charge have to entertain you somehow. So they teach you crazy songs and sing around a campfire, and it's entertaining at the time. I don't know that one in particular. I did go to camp. I was a scout as a young child, but that one is unfamiliar to me. Bunker up. Can't do anything about shading shades. And, oh, you finished the transfer. Why? I guess maybe you can kill this Marine. He got inside the bunker. He dodged it. He dodged it. Oh, the Reaper got an adept kill. How proud are you of that, Eddie? Really proud. I asked him. So hop up spot blocked. Phoenix in production out of the old Stargate here. Widowmine's on the way. Starport coming up at the same time. Wow, you're going to finish this transfer too. I mean, there's not much here, in fairness. Marine very bravely fighting and gonna die for his bravery. Adept decides to stick around and kill more stuff. I mean, 2 kills is not bad for an Adept in a professional high-level BlizzCon style game. Boom, 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 boom. Three Marines have died and no Reapers yet. So Eddie lives. There's no way in, sadly for him. His hop-up spot is blocked. He did stay out the timing on the third base, which again is about 4.5 minutes. HeRoMaRiNE, make a third base. Do it, man. I can't believe he won that last game. Oh my gosh, the medevac though. Alright, that's what Phoenix are good for, man. It's just making sure drops are really hard to pull off. Corruptors and Mutalisks perform the same function for Zerg. Phoenix ball looking pretty good. Phoenix. Trying to get in here. Ah, your missile turret is not going to happen. We killed your SCV. Okay, all right. 5 SCVs down is a bit of a minor massacre here. How many people have to die for something to be a massacre? Is there an official number for this? If I looked it up in the dictionary, what would it say? Ah, the turret still isn't up. And now it's done. Okay, that's better. Turret exists. HeRoMaRiNE feels better about his life, but that is 7 SCVs down in the first 5 minutes, which is not good for you. Still, no third bases at all. None. Army supply big, but it doesn't accomplish anything to have a big army supply if you're not pushing with it. In the last game, he did have some decent success, moving out with a couple of Ravens and a really standard composition otherwise. Maybe he'll do that this time. Where are his... He's making medevacs right now. He doesn't have any Ravens at all, which I'm worried about. Classic is basically playing this like a Zerg. He's saying, how many units do I need to survive while I expand as fast as I can? Right? A couple... Oh, Reaper died there. Fare thee well, Eddie. Phoenix gotcha. Oh, 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 oh. Careful. That Marine stimmed and tried to flee. You cannot lose these medevacs. Nice Widowmine shots, though. Is that a trap? That was a trap. That was well executed by HeRoMaRinE. He lost, no, actually didn't lose either of his medevacs. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. HeRoMaRinE decides to push on in with a Marine tank style move. No sign of a third again for this guy. But his tanks are going to siege up. They really shouldn't be sieged up there. They should re-siege closer. That's what we're trying to do here. Classic is trying to jump on him without siege tanks. But it's actually force field's pretty good. That tank is going to die, but like 8 zealots died to make sure that happened. So I don't know. Is that a fair trade? 8 zealots for a tank? I don't think that was a good trade for Classic. Pushing in Marines, Widowmines, single tank. Marauders joining the group here too. The Phoenix not super good in this situation. Good force fields, but tank is in range of your shield battery now. It is not, actually. Shield battery down, though. Classic abandoning it a little bit there. Charge lots on top of it, lifting the tank. No! It does land. Continues to get shots off here. It's only Zealots right now, which is pretty good. Oh, another lift on the tank. Or can you keep it alive? It does keep it alive. Tank continuing to fire with 0 kills, but providing some important damage done. Does he want to lift again? He lifts the... That was a Marauder that he lifted. This is a really, really scrappy attack from HeRoMaRinE, but it's suddenly 47 to 14 army supply. Pylon down, shield battery down. Classic does not have much to defend this third, but he doesn't need that much to defend this third. A 2-base to 2-base economy is fine by him. He can sack this if he wants to, but look at him trying to push it back anyway. So, tank down. Not really enough bio to deal with these charge lots. A couple other Marines show up. A Marauder gets in the mix here too. Marauder doing some good work. And there we go. 42 to 18 supply. HeRoMaRinE just has an advantage, and he is pushing it. He is making a third command center behind this, but is he going to need it? Is my question. He brought more Widowmines. He's got some more Marines. These Phoenix are still alive, unless they were newly made, which is entirely possible. Phoenix trying to find somewhere to go. HeRoMaRinE deciding to go for it here. Sort of, kind of. Is he waiting for his third? This feels like a tactical pullback at this point. He really wants to kill the Phoenix. He hopes they overextend trying to kill these medevacs, but I don't think it's going to happen. So it's a ton of Zealots out, which is what the Widowmines are for here for HeRoMaRinE. Recognizing the commitment to Zealots makes a ton of sense. Phoenix here just been hanging out for a while now. Taking down a Widowmine, taking down another Widowmine, trying to make sure the third base is hard to land. HeRoMaRinE has to pull his entire army back to just take his third at 9.5 minutes. High Templar are out. Storm is getting started. Blink is on the way here too from Classic. Once again, missile turret not complete. Therefore, SCVs are not protected. Alert, alert. 11 SCVs have been killed at 62 to 59 workers in favor of Classic. His fourth base is coming up. HeRoMaRinE still up in army supply, but not nearly as much as he was previously. Man, that whole 42 to 17 army supply that he had, that advantage was massive. And Classic is caught right back up because HeRoMaRinE never killed the third. Never killed the third base. That was it. That's what he had to do, and he couldn't do it. So HeRoMaRinE fighting hard here. It's going to be Storm instead of Colossus this time. Classic not feeling great about the Colossus after Game 3. That is so many Zealots. That is so many Zealots right now. They're working on 2-2. Oh gosh, the 2-2 is finished up. 1-1 is done for the Terran, but 2-2 is quite a ways away here. Chrono Boost is a good unit. Robotics Bay coming in from Classic. He's going to get those Colossus out sooner rather than later here. HeRoMaRinE, they're not like what he sees. That is so much Zealots. That is like Baneling numbers of Zealots, man. Good Storm, good feedback, good Storm. Classic spell casting with the best of them. Hey, the first Liberator of the series shows up today. Just trying to zone everybody back a little bit here. HeRoMaRinE, maybe going to try to take down the 4th. That'd be a good victory for him. He's also landed his own 4th from his main, very economically. Good Widowmine connections on those Zealots. Really nicely done. Great Storm getting run through there. That Archon is almost dead. It is an almost dead Archon. But HeRoMaRinE is not pushing and trying to pursue it here. Oh, Widowmine shots are going to get. Nicely done. Couple Zealots die. Both Widowmines are out, though. Phoenix hanging out up top. Got a Warp Prism cruising around the other side. HeRoMaRinE really does not want to go into that choke, especially not with the disruptors on the field. A decent hit, not incredible hit though. Zealots, great split on his units here though. I'm loving this out of HeRoMaRinE. Storm in the center, but doesn't really, okay, he just walked through a bunch of it. Another walk through a bunch of it. The Storm is real right now, ladies and gentlemen. Army splitting off to go after that 4th and maybe trying to hold the top of this ramp. Liberator getting some shots off, but then the Stalkers take care of it. Ghosts dying loudly and noisily as they always do. Warp Prism not doing anything. Warp Prism, we need to warp in units at home, he says. Once again, landed Vikings. Landed Vikings doing very well against the Stalkers. The 4th Nexus does end up falling. Big play. Big time play. Warp Prism going for the main. There are no turrets here whatsoever, but did catch wind of it here. Main base has some units on alert for warping in Zealots, and then it's the 4th that is actually under attack. But enough army there to defend it too. So we're looking at a 4-base HeRoMaRinE versus a 3-base Classic in a really, really patient style attack here. He cannot deny ground weapons level 3, can he? Oh, 0.9 seconds away from ground weapons level 3. And ground armor level 3 entirely denied, and weapons level 3 denied. That was a disgusting hit from HeRoMaRinE. Denies plus 3/3 upgrades for the ground units, for the gateway units, and the ground units of Classic. Liberator here to defend the 4th. It is 68 to 69 workers, 84 to 65 army supply. HeRoMaRinE is fighting like a boss right now. I don't know how he went from 2 bases to 4 bases where he was down to a 4 base to 3 base where he's up. That is incredibly hard to do. He managed to pull it off. We might move into our actually first late game PvT of the series today. In game 4, Liberator again defending a base that doesn't really actually need all that much defending at the moment, but maybe will in the future. 3-3 getting started for HeRoMaRinE. He could have an upgrade advantage, as Classic is just now starting to rebuild his forges at the moment. Stalkers trying to find where these medevacs are, unloading so as to keep the medevacs safe here. I'd rather unload in the main, but, you know, this is fine too. 4th base is reback and constructed for Classic. I don't think reback is actually a word there, Falcon, but it's cool. Totally fine. Well, we have a bit of a lull here. There is the Falcon Paladin store. You can check it out. The URL is falconpaladin.store. As Zealots warp into the main base. Good EMPs, but Storms tossing onto this army at the southern section of the map too. Oh, Warp Prism taking some shots, but not dead yet. These Marines can get it. Get it, Marines. Got it. Okay, Warp Prism down is a big deal. Dropping inside the main base is another pretty big deal. There's a handful of Zealots here. The Storm is the bigger problem for HeRoMaRinE, though. And that drop accomplished about nothing. Tragically, Classic heading on to the south because he knows this army is pushing up towards that location. Phoenix taking some shots here. Colossus are out. Disruptors are out, but Disruptors getting focused down. Disruptors are gone. Army sacrificed their life to make sure those Disruptors were out. All we have left are Storm and Colossus. You know, Just 2 of the 3 best forms of AoE versus Terran, and probably the 2 best, if we're honest with ourselves. I mean, yeah, Disruptor's really good, but Terran has known how to split against AoE damage since, like, Wings of Liberty, man. Since Banelings were a thing. Phoenix trying to pick off these medevacs. They get 1. It's not bad. HeRoMaRinE desperately pulling back to his 3rd base, which is not a planetary, by the way, nor is his 4th. 5th base in construction for at the same time for both players down here at the southern section of the map. Ooh, High Templar picked off. The reaction time from Classic, not enough. He's probably busy up here trying to take down the 3rd base. The army for HeRoMaRinE is ready to defend this, though. Meanwhile, 4th Nexus dies for the 2nd time today. SCV's pulled off the line to try to defend against this, dodging storms as well as they can. More High Templar join the party. This is really scary, but HeRoMaRinE's army pushing up the left side is dealing with some token resistance, but not actually a whole lot. Classic is forced to recall back to try to save his 3rd. This army gets melted, but they take a Colossus with them, and some of them actually manage to escape out of there alive. Classic's 5th base is coming up, though, very nicely. Does HeRoMaRinE know about this? He does not. Classic doesn't know about this 5th either, so both players are in the dark about each other's 5th bases. Classic assaulting on into the 4th base. The army is here once again, though. Disruptor joined the party. Doesn't really accomplish anything. Somehow, some way. Dude, if HeRoMaRinE can get down here and shut down this 5th base, he's in a great position, but he needs the information first. He still doesn't know that it's there. Storm covering Classic's retreat from this location. Wasn't able to take down HeRoMaRinE's base. That is a victory for the Terran player. Taps the Zollinga Watchtower. Make sure it's safe to come up this ramp. Classic is defending this area, though. He cannot lose the 3rd base. Losing the 5th base or the 3rd would be catastrophic for him. Nice EMP. Nice storm on top of these Vikings on the right side. The Vikings are trying to do stuff, but they're all dead. So HeRoMaRinE gets out of there. Without Vikings against 3 Colossus, you're going to have a bad time. Did he ever finish that? No, he never actually restarted that 3-3. Group down this way. They could have probably taken this down, but again, he doesn't know.
Oh, it's on.
He doesn't know this base exists. That's a problem for HeRoMaRinE. It is so hard for Classic to defend both his 3rd and his 5th right now. He's basically just banking on the fact that HeRoMaRinE doesn't know this exists. Oh, he's trying to scout it. Oh, yeah. He's keeping. Yep, there we go. Keeping tabs. Nice pull of the probes, though. Classic's response was insanely good right there. And the Marines just try to get out of here. While most of HeRoMaRinE's army is up north. It's 135 to 71 army supply in favor of HeRoMaRinE. Oh, look at the re-attack on into here. 13, 14, 15 probes down. HeRoMaRinE trying to get up that ramp. Decides to retreat from the position again. Some Zealots overextending themselves a little bit. Nice storm. It's just really good storms from Classic recently. 15 probes down. It's 64 to 42 workers, y'all. Colossus, Storm, Archon. There's really not much here by way of army out of Classic, but HeRoMaRinE is treating him cautiously. A couple good storms can really ruin his day. A moving into Colossus Fire will ruin his day too. He's trying to send a drop down to wipe out this 5th. The 4th is up and functioning from Classic now, so it's not as much of a problem. HeRoMaRinE going for the flank, though, coming around this side where not expected. Classic was not expecting this at all. Forces it back. The 5th base is going to go down. That is a lot of 3-3 bio just pouring damage into it. And it does end up falling here. Classic trying to storm as well as he could in here. Nice EMPs, though. A ton of Vikings, and Classic's going to GG here. Yes! HeRoMaRinE does end up forcing out game number 5. After going down 2-0. Best game of the series for him thus far. Proves that the last game was not indeed a fluke. just so cost efficient throughout this game, dodging storms as best as he can, making sure to wipe out classic spaces. 3 Nexuses got killed, and no command centers, orbitals, or planetaries went down for HeRoMaRinE today. 38,000 resources lost for classic, 25,000 for HeRoMaRinE here in 20 minutes. 36 Stalkers down, 7 Disruptors down, 4 Colossus down. Really, really great stuff. 44 probes killed, a lot of those in that last final assault on the 5th base, really nicely. Just good game sense there from HeRoMaRinE to come back around when the army had pulled back a little bit because he was attacking somewhere else. HeRoMaRinE, good. Really good Terran player. Really, really proud of him right now. Let's see what happens in Game 5. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a good one. You know what it's time for? It's time for a proxy. Come on, HeRoMaRinE. Game 5 at BlizzCon. Very, very stressful situation. Possibly the most stressful situation you have ever been in your StarCraft career, but... Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No! No! How does Somicron say that? There is a, gosh dang it. There's a way he says no that's like, no. 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 I can't do it. There's an R in there somewhere, though. Pig does the same thing. It's very, very Aussie style thing here. Anywho's. Hey, if you're this far into the cast, you're probably enjoying what you're seeing. So go ahead and you can subscribe to me on patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for as little as $1 a month to get you a bonus early StarCraft cast that no one else has seen yet. Well, other people who are patrons have seen as well, but one bonus one for Brood War, one bonus one for StarCraft 2 every week. Check it out. Enjoy. FalconPaladin@gmail.com/Falcon. What the heck? Patreon.com/Falcon Paladin. Yeah, we're an hour into this thing. Solo casting is fairly exhausting, as it turns out. I'm sure you guys all know this. All of you have your own solo casted StarCraft channels for sure. So Classic, again, 1 gate expanding. He will not be dissuaded against his Terran opponent. Reaper's on the way. Reaper's name is Mr. Tibbs. They call me Mr. Tibbs. Is that the right quote? Is that a Toy Story thing? Where's my brain right now? You talking to me? You talking to me? Now I have to look it up. My brain is getting absolutely just crisscrossed with different references here. Pretty sure... Ah, that's what it is. It's Mr. Pig, but that's a reference to They Call Me Mr. Tibbs from the 1970 film. They Call Me Mr. Tibbs. So, I have not seen many of the movies from the 60s or 70s or 50s really either. So it's Sidney Poitier and Martin Landau, and They Call Me Mr. Tibbs. He's holding a baseball bat in one of the pictures, so that's exciting. Anyway, trying to do stuff here as Mr. Tibbs. He's going to die, though. Why is he still here? Get out, man. 1. Oh, that second shot didn't hit. Classic is probably surprised by that, to be honest. Mr. Tibbs continues to scout around and see what's up. Maybe get a probe kill if he's lucky. But no, instead, he dead. Ugh, Sentry, man. Sentry, Stalker, Adept. Really good at killing Reapers. Reapers are fast, but suck at pretty much everything other than scouting, as it turns out. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Hey, look, that is like a sub-minute fourth, man. Classic is feeling it today. He is the greediest expander of all time. Dude, HeRoMaRinE has not even... Hang on, that's a third? That's a third. All right, third base at 4 minutes. Like I said, HeRoMaRinE, once again, has not really even given any thought to expanding yet, which is killing me because I feel like he should be. But Classic is just like, I'm good. Let's get up to that 3 base, maybe 4 base economy, get some Colossus, and let's go wreck some nerds. Yes, I'm singing a lot. There's just not much different happening in this game. Those of you who are listening to this radio style are like, dude, what is happening? Stalkers, robotics facility, Marines, tanks, a couple marauders. I mean, I need a proxy every once in a while. That's what I need. I need a proxy, I need a cannon rush of some kind. Every once in a while in these best of 5 series where they get really samey. I mean, this is basically going to be, like, not to spoil anything, but the Tasia Mana series had no kind of aggressive play either. They were both going for, whatever, 1 Rex expand, 1 Gate expand, into a 3rd base, into an attack maybe. But it just makes, like, 5 straight games now, 10 straight games now of PvT where there's nothing exciting at all in the first 3 minutes of the game. So Blinkstalker Attack says, this. Loses a couple of his stalkers, which is not good. Another one gets out of there with, orange health, which is bad. And HeRoMaRinE pushing on down, feeling like, alright, you committed a lot into that Blinkstalker attack and it didn't accomplish much. Observer sees it coming though, and that's kind of 8/10 of the game, is knowing when an attack is coming. How many games have you lost because you didn't see an attack coming from the other side of the map? I will say 87,000 for myself. So, yeah, that's why the pros are all about observers, all about selling a watchtowers, all about having lings running around the map if there's Zerg, trying to get that map vision with overlords too. Because if you don't see this coming, it kills you, and if you see it coming, you're ready for it. What the heck just killed 11 probes? Wow, nice Widowmine shot. See what I'm talking about? Map vision. Shield battery down, warping in. This army's a little bit stuck on the left side here. Tank firing from the high ground, though. Stalker's not very good against this. Neither of the Immortals. The Zealots are the saving grace of this composition right now. Tanks firing. Immortals trying to get on top. Oh, dem tanks. The Widowmine's getting friendly fire. Splash damage. Still firing from distance. That Immortal's gonna die. It's 62 to 17 army supply right now. How is this even happening? Is HeRoMaRinE going to reverse sweep Classic right now? There's 9 army supply for Classic at the moment. 9. 3rd base coming in from HeRoMaRinE on the other side of the map. Going to depower the cannons and both shield batteries at the same time. Leaves the tank alone. No, the tank was so important to you, though. But these Immortals are coming out and just getting destroyed by these Marines and these Marauders. Where are the reinforcing units from HeRoMaRinE? Classic only has, again, 7 army supply right now. If he takes down this 3rd base and these Widowmines stay alive, and they're staying alive. Nice hit there. Zealots getting massacred. If Classic wins this, I will be shocked beyond all belief. But HeRoMaRinE looks like he's doing it. And that's it. HeRoMaRinE ends up taking the series 3 games to 2 against one of the best Protoss players on planet Earth right now in Classic, if not the best. Not the best Protoss player on planet Earth in an 8-minute game. So it was different, man. He got there before the Colossus were ready to go. The Widowmine shot over here was massive in allowing him to win that game. It really constricted Classic's ability to warp in additional units to defend against this. And at the end of the day, it was a ton. 8,000 resources lost for Classic to only 3,000 for HeRoMaRinE. Disgusting. Disgustingly efficient Terran play there from HeRoMaRinE, going down 2-0. 2-0. And wins it 3-2. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody on planet Earth can do that, but I tell ya, HeRoMaRinE can do it. HeRoMaRinE is the guy. Wow. The man. Just the man today. Disgusting win. Yeah, I think Classic could have held it except for this Widowmine drop that really crippled him economically. He's at 39 probes at the end of the game to 57 for HeRoMaRinE. The tanks on the high ground were just massive. They stayed alive for quite some time. Reinforcements continuing to come on in there. That first engagement, though, I want to watch that real quick. There's one tank. There's two tanks. When was the army supply? Wow. So when HeRoMaRinE showed up, it was 71 to 46. Tank gets a nice splash hit there. Tank's taking out some zealots there. Firing on those stalkers. Gets rid of a sentry. Immortal not really focusing the tanks down, taking some shots in the meantime. Left side does get wiped out, but then reinforcing dudes show up. Yeah, so 65 to 25. So, I mean, that first engagement was everything. Widowmine's doing really well against the zealots, and you know the rest. You know the rest from there. So, good game, HeRoMaRinE. Terran fans, I hope you're happy. I hope you're really happy about this. I'm happy about this. I did not expect HeRoMaRinE to win this thing, and after we went down 2-0, I was especially sure that Classic had this thing sewn up at some level. But never count a player out, guys. Never count any of these pros out. If you're good enough to make it to BlizzCon, you are good enough to beat anybody there. You are. That's what I love about this. All right. Well, fantastic series, but that's going to be it for me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and your Sunday series. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.